Here we are going to discuss the motion of the bob of a simple pendulum. Here in the figure it is shown that from the point of suspension O, a simple pendulum of length L is suspended from the point O. The length is L and OA is the equilibrium position where it is in equilibrium. Now if we displace it from in any one side about this equilibrium position, then it will start to and fro motion about the mean position. Now if we consider we have displaced the bob from the position A to position B, suppose the length from A to B is x, the angle is theta. It should be remembered that this angle should be less than 4 degree to maintain the motion in simple harmonic. So at the position B we may note that here the weight mg works downward and the two component mg cos theta and mg sin theta are acting here from the point B. The weight component of the weight mg cos theta just balances the tension of the string, whereas the component mg sin theta, which is acting perpendicular to the string, this supplies the restoring force. As a restoring force is necessary for a motion to be simple harmonic nature, look here, this force mg sin theta tends to move the bob against to the equilibrium position A, and it just continues its motion to and fro motion. So here the restoring force is given by F is minus mg sin theta. Here what is the negative sign signifying here? It signifies that this force is in a direction opposite to the displacement of the bob from A to B, and it is supplying the restoring force here. As we know, here theta is very small, it is less than 4 degree. So by expanding sin theta in series, we know that sin theta is equal to, if we expand it in Taylor series, it is theta minus theta cube by factorial 3 plus theta to the power 5 by factorial 5 and so on. So we can approximate it as sin theta approximately equal to theta. Now from this figure we can clearly estimate that theta is nothing but x by L. Theta is x by L. So if we put it here, we have F equal to minus mg x by L. Now the force is from the Newton's second law, m d2x dt2, that is the mass into acceleration. This is equal to mgx by L. So d2x dt2 plus g by L x, this is equal to 0. Now just comparing with the standard equation of simple harmonic motion, that is we have discussed in our earlier lectures, plus omega square x equal to 0. By comparing these two, we may say that omega is root over of g by L, and the time period we know that t equal to 2 pi by omega, that is 2 pi root over of L by g. So you can say that the motion of a bob of a simple pendulum is simple harmonic in nature, and its time period t is 2 pi root over of L by g, where L is the effective length of the pendulum and g is the acceleration due to gravity. Let us consider the motion of a liquid inside a U-shaped tube. Here a U-shaped tube is drawn. The U-shaped tube has uniform cross section alpha. A liquid is inside the U-shaped tube. The density of the liquid is rho. Now at equilibrium, the length of the liquid column in each arm is L in the both arm of the U-shaped tube. And suppose by some applying some pressure, if we lower the level in one of the arm of the U-shaped tube by a length x, then due to the uniform cross section, the liquid column will go up in the right arm by the same length x, as the cross section is uniform. Now in this configuration, as the two in the closed U-shaped tube, the water or the liquid column is in different height. So this is not a stable configuration. They will try to maintain same height in both the arm of this U-shaped tube. And due to this difference of height, a pressure gradient is created, and this will supply the restoring force, which will try to move this liquid column inside the liquid, and it will be a to and fro motion, which will be simple harmonic in nature. Now let us treat it analytically and see what is the expression of time period of this to and fro motion, the simple harmonic motion of this liquid column inside the U-shape. As we know, the density of the liquid is given rho, and at equilibrium the length of the liquid column from the bottom of the U-shaped tube was L. So the total length will be 12 as the two arms are there. So the total volume of liquid column is 2L into alpha, the cross section. So this is the volume of the liquid column, and we have the density of the liquid is rho. So the mass of the liquid column, or the total mass of the liquid, is 2L alpha, the volume into the density, it is rho, 2L alpha. So this is the mass of the liquid column inside the U-shaped tube. Now look here, from the initial position the column goes down by a length x, and similarly, as due to its uniform cross section, it goes up by the same length x in the right arm. So the difference of length is x and x, 2x. So due to this difference of length, a pressure gradient will be there. A difference of pressure will be between these 2 points, C and D. So due to the weight of the liquid column and the length difference between these 2 points, C and D, there will be a pressure. The pressure P, the pressure difference is P is the height x plus x, that is 2x. The density of the liquid, it is rho, and the acceleration due to gravity, 2x rho g. So this will induce a restoring force in the liquid column, which will tend to move the liquid in a to and fro motion inside this tube. So the expression of force is nothing but the pressure into area, that is area of the cross section, it is alpha. So the force is 2x rho g into alpha. Look here, basically this is the restoring force. The minus sign will be there because this force will be always in a direction opposite to the motion of the liquid column towards its equilibrium. So a minus sign is there because it is the restoring force. So now by applying the Newton's law, what is F? F is the mass into acceleration. This is equal to minus 2x rho g into alpha. And what is M? M is the mass of the total mass of the liquid column over which the force is acting, and it is 2L alpha into rho. So mass is 2L alpha rho d2x dt2, it is minus 2x rho g into alpha. So by all cancellation here we have d2x dt2 plus 2 cancels out, rho cancels out, alpha cancels out, it is g by L into x, this is equal to 0. Now by comparing this with our standard equation of simple harmonic motion, that is d2x dt2 plus omega square x equal to 0, we have omega equal to root over of g by L, and the time period is 2 pi by omega, that is time period will be 2 pi root over of L by g. Look here, the time period is dependent upon the length of the liquid column at equilibrium and the acceleration due to gravity. Look here, it is not dependent upon the density of the liquid. It is not dependent upon the density of the liquid. So this is the expression of time period, as the motion is simple harmonic of nature, the motion of a liquid inside a U-shaped tube. Here we are going to discuss the oscillation of a loaded spring, that is a massless spring which is connected in one end to a rigid support and the another end is connected to a mass. Now it was the equilibrium position, their total force was 0. Now if we pull the mass towards the right of this equilibrium position, then after pulling it towards right and then releasing, it will start up to and fro motion. Now look here, if we pull it towards right, due to elasticity, a restoring force will act in the opposite direction. Similarly, if we want to compress the mass from its equilibrium position, then due to its elasticity, similarly a force will develop, it will act in the opposite direction of compression. Now if we write the force, restoring force here, it is F equal to minus Kx, where we know that K is called the force constant, or we call it spring constant of extension or compression. Its unit is Newton per meter, and by writing force as mass into acceleration from the Newton's second law, it is equal to minus Kx. So d2x dt2 plus k by mx equal to 0. Just comparing it with our standard equation of SHM, this is, by comparing these two, we may write omega as root over of k by m, where k is the spring constant and m is the mass of the block. Now the time period will be twice pi root over of k by m. So this motion is simple harmonic in nature, the motion of a loaded spring about its equilibrium position, and the angular frequency is given by omega is root over of k by m, and time period is 2 pi root over of k by m. This 2 pi by root over of k by m. So now here we are going to discuss what happened when the springs are in combination. It may be a parallel combination or maybe a series combination. Here a mass m, it is attached to springs k1 and k2 are the spring constant of the two springs, and the other ends of the spring are connected to the rigid support. Now if we pull the mass towards right, then a restoring force will develop and it will act in the opposite direction, and as we are pulling it to the right direction, both the two springs will suffer the same displacement. but the two forces acting on the two springs from the elasticity, we can write F1 equal to the force on the spring Q1, F1 equal to minus K1x, where K1x is the displacement due to the pulling of the mass towards right, and F2, the force on the second spring, it will be minus K2x. Then the total force acting on the body, it will be minus K1 plus K2 into x. Now, if apart from using these two springs, if we use a single spring, that will produce the same motion, then we have, suppose we are using a single spring, it is Kp. If we write it similarly, we have F equal to minus Kpx for same displacement. Now by comparing these two, we can write Kp equal to K1 plus K2. So for parallel combination, we get the result, the Kp is equal to K1 plus K2. And now if they are in series connection, for series connection, what will happen? The same, if we apply a force in this block in the rightward direction, these two spring will suffer different displacement, but the same force is acting over these two spring. It will be F equal to minus K1 x1 and F will be minus K2 into x2, where x1 and x2 are the displacement of the spring K1 and the K2. So we have x1 equal to minus F by K1 and x2 equal to minus F by K2. So we have the total displacement or total extension of the spring, x equal to x1 plus x2, that is minus F into 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2. And similarly, if we replace this with a single spring, that is it is the mass m, if we write it as K series, then we have from here, if we displace it with the same extension x towards right, then we have F equal to minus Ksx. So by comparing these two, we have x equal to F by Ks. So by comparing these two, we can write that from the first and the second equation, we can write 1 by Ks equal to 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2. That is Ks will be K1 K2 by K1 plus K2. So this is the equivalent spring constant when the springs are in series connection.